Millie's watching those murder shows.
Which ones?
This one has a really weird title, and I can't remember it, but it's like Murder, Wife, Woman. I don't know. Oh, like Murder, Married, Single, Dead? I don't know. Something like that. About women who murder their husbands.
Is it one of those true crime shows?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So she's looking for tips?
She doesn't really need them.
Hey, John, you want to go get some deep dish?
Yeah, she doesn't need tips. I mean, she's a chemist. She probably knows how to dispose of a body pretty easily.
Yeah.
Make it look like an accident.
Yeah, he just happened to fall in this vat of hydrochloric acid.
Just leaves a burrito filled with strychnine out in the counter.
Pop that bitch in the fry, Daddy.
John, they had leftover burritos at work today. What?
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. I'm a rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends prevent me from figuratively grave-robbing my own childhood and instead force me to watch movies. This week, we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally-ho.
We have Chris Arsenault.
Sharks could pull off a jewel heist.
And we have James Barrow.
Hey, it's a miniature of my miniature!
Wow.
And for those of you who are wondering, I am your host, Jonathan Barrow, and yes.
Yeah, bring back the other guy. Yeah, Chris.
I have a feeling that I kind of partially deserve that because I did pick this movie. For those of you who are wondering what we watched Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Wow. Wow.
Starring Paul Reubens, Joe Manganiello.
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 They say it a million times in the movie.
Nacho?
Malta Nacho.
Jessica Poley, and directed by John Lee. A chance encounter with a mysterious stranger, Joe Manganiello.
Joe Mega Nacho.
Points Pee-wee towards his destiny and his first ever holiday.
Are we supposed to believe that?
It's kind of a greedy bitch. He's like, hey, you need to go on an adventure to my party.
Well,
How desperate is he for friends?
But like, didn't his big adventure? Didn't he leave town?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like...
That was
maybe this was a prequel.
Oh yeah, sure.
all of Pee-wee's.
No,
things,
this is an alternate universe, Pee-wee.
All of Pee-wee's.
This is like Earth 5 Pee-wee.
Are self-contained.
I think that's a Marvel joke.
Okay.
So, John, you picked this movie.
Yes,
huh?
I picked this movie. And a weird thing happened. When I first watched this movie, the day it came out, literally the day it came out.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at that at all.
Yeah, I was very excited.
Right, I know. Like, how excited were you for this movie to come out? That you're like watching it day one, and it's like you're probably watching trailers and you're looking at Paul Reubens' IMDb, see what he's been up to lately.
I have. I'm a huge Pee-wee fan, and I was really excited that there was a new movie. I was really excited that it looked like it was going back to the roots of Big Adventure. And I was expecting a lot of fun because, and just a fair warning, listeners, there is a chance that this is going to end up being a double review of both Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Pee-wee's Big Holiday because it's impossible not to draw comparisons.
And some very likely, some of us here might have watched one assuming it was the other.
Oh, no.
Not saying, just, people, I mean, that's a normal thing for people to do, so maybe we shouldn't make fun of people who do
that. So anyway, in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, seminal movie, very quotable, which is always a fun time. There's a lot of funny jokes. I mean, it's still some of my go-to humor comes from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. You know, I still say completely out of context to people, tell them Large Marge sent you.
Yeah.
Or, you know, occasionally just if something sounds funny, I'll say something like, paging Dr. Herman, Mr. Pee-wee Herman. Yeah, you know, and I mean, so it's a movie that I appreciate deeply. I mean, I even cut it into the theme song, you know, of this show that we do every week.
Really?
What show?
Oh yeah. John Hates
What
Movies.
line is? Yeah, what line is from
I'm a loner,
Pee-wee?
Daddy, a rebel.
That's Pee-wee.
That's Pee-wee.
Yeah.
That's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I just assumed that was from something that I had never seen from like the 50s or something.
Wait,
Nope.
we're on a show?
Yes, you're on. So,
I mean, you see this black thing you're talking into right now? That's a microphone. I'm recording everything you've said.
Chris normally calls him Rick.
do you just hang out with us, Chris, and think that we're just talking?
Yeah, I just enjoy lively conversation.
So when we're talking about listeners, what do you think we're talking about?
I assume you're all crazy and I'm the sane one.
Fair enough. All right. So speaking of crazy, this came out day one. I'm ready. I've got my big old bowl of buttery popcorn. I've got my, sparkling water. It is not LaCroix lined up. I am ready.
Fucking middle class white scum with your fucking LaCroix.
I drink
Got
store
Cheez-Its
brand.
and coffee.
Right.
I got my Cheez-Its, I got my coffee. I am ready to go. And I sit down and I have a wonderful time. I have an absolutely wonderful time. I'm laughing. I'm smiling. I'm so happy Pee-wee's back.
I kind of get it.
I watched this again last night and I was disturbed. The fact that I literally watched it. I mean, this came out like a couple months ago? Like 6 months ago?
It was like a year and a half, right?
No.
2016.
It was 2016?
Yep.
Yeah, it was like 4 to 6 months ago.
4 to 6
Okay.
months ago. And this second time, it was like kind of almost barely watchable for me. And I was like, how could I have flipped like that? Is it just because I'm not really excited about Pee-wee's return? Or is this a movie that you literally cannot watch twice?
Welcome to the Eric Largent no nostalgia experience.
Exactly.
I'm
So,
serious.
Without those blinders on, boy, does this movie have problems. It's got a lot of problems.
Yeah.
It's got Pee-wee,
That's
but not
the main problem.
but not Pee-wee at its best. More like a sad, old, not as good Pee-wee. And the pacing
The Hydrox of
yes.
Pee-wee.
Yes, it's Pee-wee Hydrox. The pacing is terrible. I mean, really bad. The score is crap. The editing is really weak. The sub-characters that aren't Pee-wee are just not fun or exciting like they were in other movies. All in all, this was just not a fun experience for me. With that being said, or at least on the second
Well,
viewing.
okay, so what made you so excited about, like, the first time that you watched this, you were like all bonered up for like
Right.
to watch a Pee-wee movie. Like, what got you there?
Well, what got me there is my memories of Big Adventure. And somehow...
Like, so did you watch Playhouse when you were a kid?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like for me, I love it. I thought it was great. I thought it was funny. Pee-wee's Big Adventure is, like I said, it's a big movie for me. So the first time I watched it, that nostalgia put huge blinders on me. And there are just enough right beats in this movie that if you are going in with those kind of blinders, you can get through it. And you'll probably walk away saying, okay, that was kind of fun. But if you take those blinders off even for a second, you're going to realize that this just really is a shell of what it could have been or what it was back in the day. And that's really kind of how I feel about this. I mean, the second viewing, there are some really funny parts.
Mhm.
The night with the daughters in the farmhouse was funny. That made me laugh. The
Okay,
dream
we'll
sequ-
circle back on that.
the dream sequence where they're speaking Spanish and they're
In slow motion.
in slow motion. I mean, that made me laugh.
Okay, we'll circle back on that.
That's really about it. That's really about it.
No,
I mean-
no. But anyway,
I'm trying to think if there's.
I love that John appreciated probably two of the points in this film that I had, just before we recorded, mentioned to Eric as parts that I hated.
That's completely true.
Yeah. Even like some of the jokes that I thought were funny in the first viewing, like totally fell flat. There were not any quotables in this movie, and that's the thing that broke my heart about it the most, is that I cannot remember a standout line from this film. And not to say that will push a film, or that will is what drives me in a film, but when it comes to comedy movies, that's part of the fun.
Yeah, you want to retell the joke.
You want to retell the joke to your friends. You want to say, these cans! He hates these cans! And have somebody know what the fuck you're talking about.
John, you're like setting up my whole review right now. Like, like you're just like teeing it up. You've just put the ball on the tee.
Well, that's good, because really I'm going to need you to knock it out of the park, because at this point, that's all I really have to say about Pee-wee's Big Holiday. It's a hard pass. If you're jonesing for some Pee-wee, watch it.
You mean like Pee-wee's jonesing for a root beer barrel?
Yes. If you're jonesing for some Pee-wee, just go ahead and give it a watch, because maybe, like me, on the first viewing, the nostalgia will be enough to ride you through this standing water.
And with that, he's wrong. I made a list of notes as I was watching the film to better express myself. Goddamn fucking Pee-wee. Pee-wee is creepy as fuck. Let's get that out of the way.
Yes.
He manages to make E.T. parody even creepier and more pathetic. So that's the dream sequence in the beginning. So then it kicks off. He's getting up for the morning and he has his ridiculous,
Rube Goldberg.
yeah,
Yes,
Rube
Rube
Goldberg-esque.
Goldberg machine.
Well, really, it's his whole neighborhood, which is just
I know,
outrageous.
like,
How
every
was that
night-
stay set up?
Every
Anyway,
night they set up the Rube
Right?
Goldberg
Right.
neighborhood.
all right. So he ends up in his seat and starts filling the balloon, and all I can think is there's no disconnect for that tank that fills the balloon. That would not work. It just wouldn't work. There's no quick disconnect. And also, immediately he pops the balloon. His balloon.
So he gets a new balloon every day, right?
His balloon budget must be outrageous.
Something like Carrie Fisher's Coke budget.
Right?
Oh shit, I can't make jokes
No.
about Carrie Fisher anymore,
No.
can
She's dead. She
No.
can't do anything.
She's not coming after you now.
I?
And then the old lady gives him trying to find the root beer barrel. So I already used this one, but this was in my notes already. Pee-wee is jonesing for a root beer barrel.
Yeah.
Because he was like a crack fiend. He's like, oh, give me, oh. It was kind of creepy as shit. So as he's like running through the town, he's saying hi, good morning to everyone, and everyone's, if he doesn't say it first, oh, good morning, Pee-wee. Oh, hey, Mr. Blah, blah, blah. And all I can think is this is the worst. This is like my greatest fear. That many people are talking to me in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Fez went better with his suit than the cowboy hat.
Yes.
I think Emily is going to give Pee-wee... Oh, never mind. It's a book. I'd go to Emily's book club.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. The jocks come into the back of the diner, like, are kind of edging in like they're about to buy drugs from Pee-wee.
Nope, they're just gonna tell him they don't want to be friends anymore.
Yeah, they're just going to disappoint him.
The renegades.
They destroy the renegades, and Pee-wee takes the breakup like he's on an online date.
Yep.
Goes crazy. Get it? Online daters.
Yeah.
And then we see Pee-wee with his passive aggressive bullshit.
I've no. I'm sorry, Chris. Officially, I have no idea what you're talking about.
And then we discover that Pee-wee is a much bigger bitch than Superman.
I mean, but he's supposed to be, right?
Right? Probably, but let's face it, he is. I actually kind of liked the sharks pulling off a jewel heist. That shit was funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then this dude walks in and there's like, who's like all like really weird, like kind of I and Pee Wee like, what the fuck's your deal? And then Pee Wee's make this way outrageous, show of making this fucking milkshake. And first the biker walks in, smacks the jukebox, starts rocking, changes the song, then runs both of them at the same time. I gotta admit, the biker's cool. And the Jinx scene was actually pretty solid. And then I lost so much respect for the biker, because who uses the word chillax?
Third place is a tie between Starburst and Skittles. You know what? We just quoted the line.
And then we start to realize that Pee-wee may in fact be a psychopath. And Joe is the devil. He's the devil tempting Pee-wee with sweet apple of travel. Get it? Because he's going to the Big Apple.
Yeah.
Sweet apple of travel. He's the devil. Apple of travel. See, it works on so many levels.
Oh, that's what oh shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
See, this whole thing is actually
This
just
is the creation story?
Yeah.
So Pee-wee's Eve, right?
Yeah.
And Joe Manganiello's Adam?
Joel Manganiello is a physical embodiment of temptation.
There you go. And let us not forget the tried but true method of putting out a grease fire with your shoe.
Uh-huh.
Pee-wee does have a pretty cool car, though. He has got an old Fiat 600.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really is just a marvel that it goes at all. Then we're introduced to a new group of... he's on his adventure, and we're introduced to a new subset of characters who are also outrageously terrible. And I said... that bevy of burglarizing beauties is being a bother.
God damn it.
Wow, Chris.
Chris.
Another thing that's dead, like Paul Reubens' career, traveling salesman.
Oh, I know. It's like they wrote that joke back in the 90s and they didn't want to throw it out.
Yeah. No, it's still good. It's still good.
Right.
I did love that the sign, like he rolls it up for the one people, and then he rolls it up for the Hispanics,
family.
and like it's in Spanish.
Yeah.
That was great. That was kind of funny. That was
Honestly,
clever.
the thing on the roof, that's pretty funny. Like,
Yeah,
as
well,
a joke.
it's a good prank, but I mean, you don't.
Nice little prop joke.
So John talked about the Farmer Brown scene thing.
Yeah, he did. He said it was kind of funny.
Here's the funny thing about this: it was unnecessarily awkward and uncomfortable, and it didn't belong in what I think was supposed to be a kids' movie.
No.
Here's
Is this Pee-wee movie a kids' movie, or is it?
Pee-wee is
I was going to
for
ask that question.
kids.
Really?
What the
Pee-wee's not for kids?
Kids has
That
always,
was
no,
definitely
Pee-wee has
the-
always been aimed towards adults.
Yep.
It's true, but it's like Shrek. He's always kind of rode that Shrek line where kids will enjoy watching it, but will not get the jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, because
Like,
that
if you
seems
watch-
super fucked up.
And then that's
Yeah.
why he's creepy. Is because
And
as an adult.
at this point, I note this movie is goddamn terrible. What in the sweet crock of shit fuck is happening here? This is so fucked up. Run like fuck, Pee-wee! Halfway through, I want to kill myself.
All right. I've done my duty.
Operational helicopter hair is impressive.
Yeah.
And suddenly deliverance. Oh wait, no, a one-man show. Wow, female Pee-wee is kind of awful. What the fuck, Pee-wee? How have you never had goddamn pizza, you twat?
It's never left Fairville.
And then he falls into the open manhole.
Yeah.
That is an improper safety barrier. This is not OSHA approved.
No.
Fall protection systems required by this part shall comply with the application provisions of this section. Employers shall provide and install fall protection systems required by this subpart for an employee and shall comply with all other pertinent requirements of this subpart before that employee begins the work that necessitates the fall protection. Guardrail systems and their use shall comply with the following provisions. Top height of top rails or equivalent guardrail system member shall be 42 inches, plus or minus 3 inches, above the walking working level. This condition warrants the height of the top edge may exceed 45 inches of height, provided the guardrail system meets all other criteria in this paragraph. Guardrail system shall be... Guardrail system shall be capable of withstanding, without failure, a force of at least 200 pounds applied within 2 inches of the top edge of any outward or downward direction at any point along the top edge. That noted, Joe is hella prepared. I have respect for him again.
Yeah, he's got a fucking hook line or whatever.
Yeah,
There's a cable.
Yeah,
A
yeah,
fanny
yeah,
pack.
yeah. Happy birthday, Joe. I fell down a well. Fucking magnets,
Yeah, how do they work?
right?
It's a miracle.
Yeah.
And then it gets to the point of like they're all congratulatory and talking, and then they go up on the roof and it's uncomfortable as fuck and
Yep.
super stupid. Oh wait, no. Before that happens, I was convinced he was going to accidentally walk and fall back down to the well. I really expected that to happen. That lava's cotton candy. First genuine laugh of the entire film when it cuts to them both super cramped down inside of the treehouse.
Uh-huh.
That was funny. And then my notes go into, okay, please be over, please be over, please be over, please be over. It's not over. Fuck. Solar? Jesus fuck. And then I have a link to something.
I'll link in the notes for a podcast.
That's great.
Please go to http://www.
So as we've established, this movie's not good. I don't recommend watching it. The sub-characters are laughably bad.
Yep.
Pee-wee is not funny. There are a few moments in this film, as you would hope and direly hope in a comedy, that were amusing, if not funny. But the majority of it was awkward and stupid, and it wasn't enjoyable, and it really didn't bring anything to me. It's not like I had like, oh, that was good, or, you know, maybe it had a good scene where I got a good belly laugh or something. Like, no. Don't watch this movie. You know what you should watch instead?
What?
Anything. Or Mad Max.
All right. I'll
Take it away, Aaron.
yeah.
Aaron?
Harry Potter. Take it away, Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Chris still has no idea that we're on like a podcast. He's
Oh.
doing visual jokes. He's calling me by a wrong name. He thinks we're just like having a conversation. We're at my house right now.
We are at your house, Eric.
Oh.
Wait, we're at Eric's house? I thought this was a dream.
No, we're not having a dream, unlike the beginning of this movie where Pee-wee has some absurd dream sequence where he's talking to an alien about to... okay, so like I guess they're setting the stage for like Pee-wee really doesn't want to leave town so much that he won't join the alien that he really is great friends with on the spaceship.
Right.
Is that the stakes
Yes.
that were happening
Yes.
in the
Yes.
beginning,
I
the
think it
opening
was
scene?
just a joke.
It's not just a joke because it's not funny.
Well said.
Strong disagree.
Okay, so then after that he wakes up and does the whole Rube Goldberg sequence where he gets pulled out of bed and makes it to work in the morning by this amazing machinery that has been reset every night so that he can get into work every morning and make those like scrammy
Apparently
eggs
he has a very
and the
loyal
omelets and the awesome pancakes without garnish for for the
Mine
lovely
looks like
patrons.
an orange. It is an orange.
Yeah. So right off the bat, I'll say there are things that were good about this movie. And John, I'm kind of surprised that you didn't mention it because despite a lot of the obvious deficiencies that this movie had, one of the things that it did have was heart and charm. So, like, if you are willing to look past how outwardly just completely weird and creepy Pee-wee is and just see, like, what he's actually doing, he has a lot of charm. He really does. Like, it's a charming character. He does things in a charming way. It's just the context is creepy.
It's like someone who's really nice, but also wants to like constantly like rub your shoulders.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
You know they
Hey,
mean
brother.
well, but you'd really like them to stop.
Yes. Yeah. And that's kind of what the Pee-wee character is. Like, it's, if you just take this character at face value, it's really charming because he's just trying to be like a nice kid that like, yeah, and he's whimsical and he says hi to everybody and he makes the best breakfast at the diner and he's, you know, a nice kid and, you know, does things right.
I still don't understand how he's never had pizza. That's just
What is it? Fairville is the name of the city?
Yeah.
Apparently
shittiest place to live ever.
yeah.
If it doesn't have pizza, for sure.
Right.
One of the things I really liked about this movie was Joe Manganiello.
Yes.
Now, I thought his
Joe
character...
Megatron.
Joe Moldy Pillow.
No, okay.
Joe
so,
Moldy
like,
Baloney.
so, like, he was pretty good. Like, the actor himself was pretty good, and then the character that he played as, even though it was named after the actor, he's obviously playing a character because he's acting in a movie.
Sure.
But the character he played was nice and somewhat believable that he, like, forms this, like, you know, nice bond with his pal Pee-wee, and he wants him to come, like, hang out in New York with him. Now, the most implausible thing about the Joe Manganiello character is so Joe Manganiello is an actor in real life, and he, you know, I know Joe Manganiello from watching Magic Mike and Magic Mike 2. Thank you very much.
As you do.
Were you saying thank you very much like you were thanking them for making those movies, or are you trying to like spite us for not knowing?
Yeah, I guess spiting because I don't know. Look, when Magic Mike is on HBO, how are you not going to watch it? Joe Manganiello's abs are just, you know, transfixing sometimes.
That's right.
Just like Channing Tatum, all the other Kevin Nash, and all the other guys that are in Magic Mike. I can't even think of all of them right now. Matthew McConaughey's in the first one. Anyway.
I tried to dance like them, but I hurt my fist.
I don't even know how to follow that up.
So it's kind of great that Joe Manganiello has this like
This romance?
It's like an alternate reality where he is a more successful actor than he actually is.
Right.
Like because he's not really working that much
Right.
to be able to be like the big star.
Right.
Yeah.
That people are like reporting on his birthday party.
Mhm.
But I liked the character. I liked his interactions with Pee-wee. I liked him in the movie. Like he was good. Okay, so we've talked about the farmer's daughters joke. So when they did it the first time, when they all pop up and they're like, I'm Peggy. I'm like tall but smart. I'm, you know, like when they did that.
Yeah, they introduced themselves with their dating profiles.
Right.
Yeah.
So when they did it the first time, I was like, all right, they're all just introducing themselves. Obviously, as soon as he showed up at the farmhouse, we're doing a farmer's daughter joke.
Right.
But then when he goes to bed and we hear that first knock on the door, I think to myself, oh, sweet fuck, we're doing this again?
Yep.
We're doing this again. We're doing this joke all over again? We're doing this joke a second time. And it's going to be less funny this time?
The only
Yeah.
decent part about that joke was when he got out onto the roof and the
And the
one
girl-
girl had the table. That was all right, but that's like saying
It's tiresome. Like how much
the whole joke was awful, but
So,
that
like,
didn't save it.
the first time they did it and they did like 10 girls or something,
Right.
like you can kind of get through it, but then they do 10 girls a second time and they all have their own part. Like it's tiresome.
Yeah.
It's just tiresome. And it's not even an original joke. Like how many millions of times have people done this joke before? Like it's
And a lot better.
right. It's like I'm surprised in this movie that Pee-wee didn't like start one of his jokes with, okay, so a priest, a rabbi, and an imam walk into a bar. Like like he's telling old jokes, but Pee-wee's in the joke, and that's why it's supposed to be funny. But he's but he's telling knock-knock jokes that we've all heard a million times before. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, so this movie didn't make me laugh out loud at all, because I'm like watching it and I've seen all of these jokes before. Like the setup to all these jokes is exactly the same. They're like Paul Reubens and his pal Paul Reubens and Paul Rust wrote this movie, and when they wrote this movie, they were like, okay, let's think up all of the good setups for jokes that have happened in the last 50 years, and then make Pee-wee the punchline of all those jokes. And then they did it, and they made this movie, and that was like that was Pee-wee's Big Adventure, or Big Holiday.
Big Holiday.
Yeah.
Anything like that besides the Farmer's Daughter one?
Yeah, the hillbilly in the woods.
Yeah. Okay. I can see it.
The like gang of badass girls, like that was tropey.
Yes.
Yes. The
eccentric millionaire.
Yes.
Flying
Yes.
person.
Yes.
I love how she bills out. It's like, hands him an umbrella.
The Kate Hepburn
yes,
character.
yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that.
Kate
Yes.
Hepburn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just a weird direction to go to have
Right.
Kate Hepburn show up in your movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this party runs into Katharine Hepburn.
Right.
And they get in her flying car.
Right.
I mean, now that's not a trope. I don't know why that's a thing.
No, it's not a
That's
trope.
that's a bad choice.
It's just a setup that, like, it's not original. Like, nothing about this movie was original or interesting. Mm-hmm. It's just they put Pee-wee in all of these, like, they send him to a roadside attraction where, like, there are, like, stupid kitschy
Gaggy,
things.
punny, yeah.
They have him...
falls down a fucking well.
Yes, he falls down a well at the end. So there are parts of this movie that are good. It has heart and charm. Joe Manganiello's good. I actually really liked the end where they're up on the roof and Joe Manganiello made the miniatures of his neighborhood, and then they like go up into the treehouse and like hang out and talk to each other.
Treehouse
That
is still the
like
funniest.
I can't talk shit about that part because I liked it. I did, but it's not funny. It's just like a little bit charming and heartwarming. But this movie's not funny.
No.
It's just not. And like when they wrote this movie, they just had the idea that they're going to put Pee-wee as the punchline to all these jokes that we've already heard 100 times before. That is Pee-wee's Big Holiday. That's my take.
That's pretty solid, man. I gotta agree. That's a good take. So, James, what have you got for us?
First up, I gotta say, all you motherfuckers is wrong. You're just so wrong. No,
just tell us what you thought. Don't be influenced by our negativity.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean,
James, it's your birthday, and you can be wrong if you want to.
I'll be right because it's my birthday. God damn it.
Sometimes you have to understand what is can be seen by one person as negativity is seen by many others as
Chris.
Truth and honesty.
Oh man! All right, so
Chris works.
Okay, so here's Pee-wee in a nutshell. Is that well, first I'll just say I watched this today, and it's okay. Like, I mean, that's my kind of broad overview.
Yeah.
It's okay. I enjoyed watching it, but wouldn't be my first choice go-to comedy or anything like that.
Would it be your first choice go-to for anything Pee-wee?
Oh, fuck no.
All right, so what's your first choice go-to for anything
Big
Pee-wee?
Adventure.
Okay.
Absolutely, 100%.
So this is better than, so is Playhouse better than this?
Playhouse is rough.
Yeah. Playhouse
Playhouse is rough to go back to, except for the HBO special Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
Because before he had a Saturday morning TV show, he had a late night HBO special.
Yeah.
But he's like doing it in character the whole time?
Yep. And it had everybody there, and Mekaleka Hi, Mekahai Miho. What was his name? Manvi? Or Manji or something like that.
Anyway.
Yeah.
This is Genie.
He's a genie. Floating head in a box, pretty much. There was a joke in that episode where, Pee-wee's like, "Oh, Manji, you got a package. Let me open it up for you." And he opens up the package, and there's hands inside of it. And Pee-wee goes, "Oh, it's your new hands," and gives it to him. And Manji's like, "Oh my goodness." He's like, "Oh, there's something I've been waiting to do for a long time," and then slams the door.
Wow. Nice.
So, like, no, Pee-wee is not for kids.
Right.
Oh,
It's
all right.
something that kids can always enjoy, but like they're like jokes like that. Just obviously the joke is all in the reference, and adults will get it, kids won't. But the thing about Pee-wee is that Pee-wee is a little kid.
Yes.
Like,
But
that's
okay,
his
but
character.
like to enjoy it, you have to be an adult watching a kid's thing, enjoying a kid's thing.
No, to be you have to be an adult watching an adult pretending like acting like a kid.
Like that's because that's like the whole thing that like that's a cognitive dissonance for me. Like the separation of like who is this for, and like should I be watching it and not liking the jokes, or should kids be watching it and liking the jokes?
Kids
I'd
should
be
be
afraid
watching
of-
it and just liking the
I'd
energy.
be afraid of kids watching it and getting.
Yeah, that's what you don't want.
See,
Yeah.
like that's a thing. Like, and that's what sometimes like creates that about like adult cartoons. Like that's why I don't want to watch like Family Guy or it's just that's why I'm not interested in watching Rick and Morty, because I'm not necessarily interested in watching a cartoon for adults or like a kids show for adults. Like, because that's ultimately what Pee-wee is, right? It's like a kids thing, but for adults.
Yes,
Exactly. Yep.
exactly.
I don't know. And that just kind of creates like static in my brain where I'm like, this is weird and it's not for me, but it's for me. And I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the humor from like Pee-wee and shit like that is like watching him get being a kid so right, and then go, "Oh yeah, I remember when I used to do stupid shit like that."
Yep.
Yeah.
But like that's like not new in comedy. There's like people like John Winters and stuff like that. Even fucking Howie Mandel, who we
Yes.
really should be considered the comedian that shall not be named.
But he was
I did-
Gizmo.
He was Bobby from Bobby's World.
Yeah, I
And
watched
Gizmo.
Bobby's World growing up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like so
Yeah,
like
but the difference between like Howie Mandel and Bobby in Bobby's World, Bobby was obviously a kid for kids.
Mm-hmm.
well
That's what
in
Bobby's-
World, but Bobby started in his stand-up act.
I understand
Yeah.
that, but let's face it. A lot of comedians who went on to produce, stuff for children or family had very crass stand-up routines. I mean, look
Like
at Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
His
the
stand-up
classic.
is like really, really, really atrocious. Like offensive, atrocious.
Oh, yeah.
Mildly funny sometimes, but mostly not. And then he did squeaky voices on American Home Videos
Right.
And Full House.
and Full House.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the point being is that it's not new in comedy for this sort of thing to happen.
No, it's not.
And Pee-wee, he's really good at not so much just like the shock, but like I said,
Like John Waters is actually a good example.
Yes, yeah, that
It
relational humor to go. Oh, I remember when I did stupid shit as a kid like
Yeah.
that. That's funny.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So in Pee-wee's like big adventure and stuff like that with Dottie was constantly hitting on him all the time. The reason he wasn't like into that or anything, it wasn't because he didn't find Dottie attractive, it's because she was a girl, and girls
Yeah.
are gross. And you understand that like a lot of things about like the way Pee-wee acts and everything like that become a lot more palatable.
Yeah, you
But-
just have to
then
understand that. Like I don't
you're
get that.
explaining that he is literally a man-child.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no.
But here's the thing about Pee-wee's Big Holiday. He's so old now, it doesn't track.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
It's like, you could buy it in like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He just had like this youthful liveliness about him that not only came off in his actions, but his expressions and everything. And now that like he's looking so old, and they even like digitally cleaned up his face and shit like this and this.
Do you think, or did he just not age?
No. I mean, well, he has aged really well.
Yeah, because
But-
he looked good.
No, they did. They
Okay.
digitally fixed his face.
Okay.
And he looks much better than like, Smeagol in Rogue One. So
Oh yeah, Rogue One, Grand Moff Tarkin. What happened?
they apparently animated his wax figure, so
Yeah. Oh, That's the only like that took me.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, quick sidebar. I was all in. I liked Rogue One a lot. And then they just have these CGI characters that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
They just don't need to be
the
there.
Sure they
CGI
do.
was
You
not
Star Wars
that level.
fans go nuts for that shit.
Tarkin shouldn't have been there.
Tarkin
Should have been
just
somebody
kept
else.
on talking about the One Ring and how me wants it, and I was just
Right.
like, nope.
Yeah, yeah. And Princess Leia didn't need to be there at the end,
Yeah.
talking about hope.
She goes, "What's this?" And she goes, "Mash and boil them, stick them in a stew. Potatoes. What's that, precious?"
Correct you, man. Correct.
All right.
Boss man.
So, okay.
Boss man blessed it.
Yeah.
Bow.
Back to my review. Obviously, like, the Fairview was, the idyllic 50s, and like they were kind of playing on that because. But the thing is like this is a joke that is older than Paul Reubens. So like even people like us who like grew up watching Pee-wee's Playhouse, who are now adults, should be the target for this movie. It doesn't even really play with us. It plays on an intellectual level. You go, oh yeah, I remember in high schoolers, dressed like that. And
What's the Fonzie show?
Happy Days.
Okay, so the only way a modern audience has a point of reference for this kind of idyllic 50s America is Happy Days.
Yeah, but the thing was that Happy Days was for 40-year-olds in the 70s.
Right. So
Yeah.
now this is for like 30-year-olds in the 2016s?
Yes.
And we're supposed to like look back at the 50s as this like idyllic, simple time where like everything was perfect?
We're supposed to know that those jocks who walk in are just supposed to be normal high schoolers.
Right.
I know that because I watch Looney Tunes, And in the 40s, that's the way high schoolers dressed.
Yeah, yeah. So the setup for that joke is 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. So
I absolutely do.
So a lot of the jokes didn't necessarily track that well, but once he started getting on the road, well, I forgot to mention, like getting up in the morning, the Rube Goldberg.
Yeah.
It was like. That was also in Pee-wee's Big Adventure and stuff like that. It played really well in that. Little Danny Elfman, I mean.
I forgot to mention the ska in my part of the review. But yes, this movie didn't have a Danny Elfman score, which would have helped it. It would have.
Now, when we're talking about Rube Goldberg, I think that it's important that we call this, a Rubens Goldberg device.
Wah, wah.
You're done, face. I think I hurt him with that joke.
Well, I think we found something worse than this movie.
And it's my brother.
So, anyway, enough of that. The bank robbery and shit, like that was lifted directly from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill.
Okay.
That's what that was a reference to. There were references to a lot of like indie B-movie Roger Corman flicks in this movie, which, further narrowing your audience, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's funny if you know it.
So essentially they just fluffed this movie with references that are at this point 50 years old.
50 years old or so obscure as to be pointless.
Yeah.
Well done.
I see you working, Paul Reubens.
Yep. But nonetheless,
there's a significant chance that what's happening here to Paul Reubens with this movie is the same thing that's happening to Kevin Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somehow
Yes.
I knew that's where you're going.
like
Well,
they
that
both
make-
like what they like and they're just doing it.
Yes.
But,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll admit, though, this was much more watchable than
Yoga host.
Yoga Hosers. Legitimately
Yeah,
the
if
worst
you
movie
want
I've
a
seen in a
movie
very long
not
time.
to watch, don't watch Yoga Hosers.
Yeah, feel free to
Couldn't
watch
even
this.
Get past the first 5 minutes of Yoga Hosers.
Feel free to watch this. Do not watch Yoga Hosers.
If you
And
have
I'm
it in
a
your heart to
huge-
watch Yoga Hosers, turn it on and immediately fast forward 10 minutes. At least.
But then there are Kevin Smith bratwursts that get stomped on and have sauerkraut popping out of them.
Whatever, that's better than the opening of that
Oh,
movie.
The whole
God.
movie is terrible.
Speaking of that, okay, opening on E.T., I know I'm going backwards here, but opening
that's
on the E.T.
fine.
thing, I thought that was funny.
Eddie
To open
Torres.
on the end of a movie, like I was like, that's funny.
Eddie Torres, the extra testicle.
But that ET puppet was
Cheech and
fucking
Chong,
creepy.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't likable.
No, but
Like that's why people wanted to like ET
You-
because he's a
you
likable
don't put the
monster.
nostrils like that. That's just.
and they were all wet and gross, nasty looking. But okay, so a couple things you could have done to make that like track. One, I thought they were going to have it like a turn. The ship lands and then surprise, actually they're all evil.
No, it didn't turn.
But
It was just
no,
a joke that
no,
didn't
that's
go
what
anywhere.
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's how you make the joke, like
Yeah.
track or something.
Well, don't try to fix the movie.
I'm not gonna try to fact, but like that's what I was expecting. I was like, okay, either like, that's gonna happen, or I don't know. Just
but really, it was just a setup.
it was
Like they
just
wanted to make
setup
a
and-
bad joke that was a setup for him not wanting to leave town.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
wake up in the morning dream scene. I was like, I think out of all your choices, that's kind of the worst one to go with.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
to
start the movie with the worst choice is also a worse choice.
yeah, it is. But nonetheless, like I said, I thought it was hilarious for them to start the movie at the end of another movie. Like if that was the case, that would have been great. Whether it was
I
an
can see
ET reference or any other reference.
So like Pee Wee starts in the mouth of Jaws, and he's
Yes. Yeah. Or Pee Wee starts and like
Oh,
it like opens
that
up and
would
it's
be
like,
brilliant.
"Where are you?" And he's like, "I'm under fire. I can't get out." And then like he shoots 3 people, and then like he's like, "I found him," and he's like in the corner. And he's like, "Say your prayer," or like, "I'm taking you to the bank, Mr. Henderson, the blood bank." Dun 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 dun. Pee Wee shoots him in the head, and then it's like the next day, like the end of an action movie or something like that, and then it starts. Yeah,
I'm
I honestly
taking you to
think
the
the
bank,
Jaws-
Senator Trent,
yeah.
to the blood bank. dun, 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 dun.
But okay, so let me go back to the robber things. I actually like those characters mainly because
I like him too,
yeah,
for
They-
2 reasons on each of them.
yes. Oh wait, no,
They were all.
yes, plus. Also, I love that the girl who played Pee Wee was Maybe from Arrested
Yeah.
Development.
Uh-huh.
She needs to be in more things, just so I can look at her.
She's got a
Like-
really great TV show out right now. Look it up. It's great.
What can I
Search
remember
Party.
the name of this?
Oh, Search
The
Party.
Search Party. Yep.
Search Party is very good. Watch it.
Sweet. I will definitely check it out because I guess you could say she's the closest equivalent to Christina Ricci for Colin.
Is Aaliyah Shawkat for you?
Yeah, my God, she's just so hot. Yeah, normal relationships, that normal functioning relationships that people have. They have like the celebrity one or something that people get,
Yeah.
or if you're a little more lax list. For me and Leslie, it's more like a gentleman's agreement, and I think that she definitely falls within that for both of us. So
Fair enough.
anytime she's in a movie, I'm just happy to see her. But yeah, like other than that, I mean, the other little jokes and stuff. There were parts of this movie that genuinely got a laugh out of me. You talk about the farmer's daughter scene. The farmer's daughter section that probably had the most laughs for me. And granted, the whole like introduction with the dating profile kind of was like a drag. But immediately,
But that's also
after
a
that,
Pee Wee thing.
Yeah.
To do the joke that goes on too long. Like with the balloon.
Yes, yeah, the balloon, which also got
Oh,
a chuckle out of
yeah.
me.
Oh, I forgot about that. It was so painful.
Yes.
I can
and
understand.
that was like one of the few parts that actually made me laugh on second viewing as well, was the
Yeah.
balloon.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, jokes that go on too long, they always kind of get me.
Yeah. Same
And I
here.
understand why some people hate them, too. Completely reasonable.
Yeah, it's
But-
more reasonable than finding them funny.
Yeah. But that fucking balloon thing actually, like, yeah, we was blowing it up and I was getting really fucking nervous. I was like, what the fuck is he? What? No, stop. You're going to pop it. What are you doing? Stop.
And then
And
he just
then
makes a
he's-
fart joke for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
You get a lot of unique noises with that.
Yeah.
And then immediately after, everybody's doing it. I'm sorry, that got a chuckle.
I believe it.
But no, like after dinner, when they're on the porch and they're on that porch swing that's like a football field long. That was funny. Nah.
Honestly, it wasn't. Kind of saw it a mile away.
It got a laugh out of me, man. That was chuckling. That was goofy. It was great. Now, the thing where, like, you know, knock, 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 I'm like, eh. Like, what I thought would happen was knock once, he goes back to the bed, and then I really totally thought this was going to happen, was another one was going to come out from under the bed, and then another one from, like, his closet or something, you know? Like, I get the joke. Like, if you're going to do the joke, let's do the joke, but let's, come on, you know, step it up a little bit.
But they didn't have that attitude toward any of the jokes in this movie.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, all the jokes lasted way longer than they should have, and they weren't that great in the first place.
Exactly.
The Grizzly Adams, like, yeah, it made me laugh. Like,
well, just the dad.
Yeah,
why didn't you love me?
Yeah, that. Like, not so much like, oh, he's gonna do something goofy instead of being a killer or something like that.
Right.
You know, I knew that was coming.
But the content of his delivery.
Yes, exactly. The fact that he's doing, like, a rap one-man show about his dad.
Oh, so there are some funny parts in this.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that idea.
But like, yeah, like, Pee-wee he doesn't have the jawline he used to. Like, you know, it's obvious that he's getting old, and even though they fixed him up with the CG and post and stuff like that, like, nothing looks quite right.
Yep.
And that really kind of throws me off. Some decent jokes, but here's the thing about Pee-wee is that it is time to kind of retire that character. Maybe do little bits here and there and, like, cameos in other films or something, because everything Pee-wee that you would want has already been picked up by SpongeBob. So if you want a Pee-wee experience,
Yeah.
just watch SpongeBob.
Yes.
It's just as funny.
Yes, and it is for kids.
And SpongeBob is Pee-wee Herman.
Yes.
That is true. Yep. You're not wrong. Well, I think that
and
covers
so
all
ends our review. Yeah, yeah, correct,
sir.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that
they're both
it
short order
is-
cooks.
Yes, they're both. Yes, we get it. Yes, we didn't even need to explain it. We get it. That was correct. It was correct.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, we will
Pee-wee
be
doesn't
back.
have a friend named Patrick.
You don't need to explain why 2 + 2 = 4. It just does.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. And when we come back, it'll be time for the game.
Tally-ho, John Hates Movies listeners, it's Eric Largent with a quick reminder of how you can find us. The best way to stay appraised of all of our activity is to follow us on Facebook at John Hates Movies. There we'll post all of our new episodes, as well as whatever we're feeling interested in at the moment. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast service, like iTunes, Stitcher, or Podcast and Radio Addict. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment. We read every single one, and they're much appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter at John Hates Movies, or follow me on Twitter at Eric Largent. Now, stay tuned for the game and find out what movie we get to watch next week. And if you're feeling adventurous, watch along with us and leave us a comment on Facebook telling us what you thought of the movie. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for your favorite part and mine. It is time for the game.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, John, there is something really important that I forgot to say. That the moral of this movie is that you come to people's birthday parties, goddammit.
Yeah, that is the moral of this movie.
It kind of is.
Yeah.
A very important lesson for everybody to fucking take home.
I'll be there tomorrow, James.
Well, unfortunately, I have to work. So I'm not going to be able to make it to your birthday party, which really
John, you get a
blows.
pass. This
One
time.
That's right.
We were just reminiscing about that time that you didn't come to his birthday, but you came to mine. Good times. Good times.
That was a good birthday party.
That was a sweet
that was
birthday.
fun.
That was probably one of the best parties we had over at James.
Because I was there.
Yeah, must be.
Of course.
Must be.
And I was there too.
There you
That's
go.
right. All right. So,
Hot
there
sauce
is another...
committee, pre-hot sauce committee, man.
Right.
That's right. There is another announcement that we need to make.
Oh, yeah.
And this one's kind of important.
Oh, yeah.
So, not just Netflix anymore. That's right. We are now opening up our podcast reviews to Amazon Prime movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're broadening our horizons.
We
That's
all
right.
just happened to have Prime, and we said, "This is it."
This
we
is
can
it.
do it.
We can do it. The last of the holdouts is holding out no longer. So that means that we get to now include within our regular Netflix roster such classics as Top Secret or Gremlins, maybe even Major League. Who knows?
Whoa, is Major League on Amazon Prime streaming?
Yes, it is.
Oh shit!
That's
Oh,
right.
shit. Okay.
So that should give everybody extra incentive to work very hard at winning this week's game.
Yeah.
Which is, since this movie has shown us that old jokes don't really work well in modern times, and since we've also basically kind of landed on some arbitrary part of this movie, and I've chosen that Pee-wee is a short order cook, we're going to be revisiting old-timey old jokes with a mixture of short order cookness. Now, for those of you who probably are not 80 years old, may not remember, but they used to make all kinds of jokes in regards to the ways that diners would refer to their food when it was ordered through the window.
Yes.
So you would have like 2 eggs over easy, and they'd be called something ridiculous like, I don't know, greasy boobies. So
Greasy boobies in the sunshine.
exactly, greasy boobies in the sunshine.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are listening, that's this week's game. I am going to be providing our gentlemen, our panelists, with breakfast orders, and they have to provide to me a snazzy diner name for them.
Oh,
Nice.
that's
All right.
mean.
I like it.
All right. So the computer is randomizing who is going first. And it is Chris.
Oh man.
That's all right, Chris. We're going to
Okay.
start out.
All
We're going
right.
to start out slow. I want a hard-boiled egg with a side of toast.
Hard-boiled egg with a side of toast. How about a pair of browns with a hard one? Because toast is
Toast is brown.
and the hard-boiled a hard one.
Okay.
A pair of browns and a hard one.
A pair of browns and a hard one.
All right.
All right. I'll accept it. Okay. Next is James.
Woo.
James, I want some scrambled eggs, a slice of ham, and some French toast.
Okay. Scrumple Dumples, Kermit's Bitch, and Froggy Wood.
Scrumple dumple.
Kermit's bitch, that's the ham.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, I get it.
Okay.
I had cheese-eating surrender monkeys oinking in a mess.
That's a good one.
Okay. All right. Eric.
Yes.
All right. So let's go for yours.
I liked Kermit's bitch though.
Yes.
I didn't even catch that till he pointed it out.
Right.
I want a sunny side up egg on top of sausage biscuits and gravy.
Okay. Okay. John, what you're looking for is a southern boob job.
Nice and quick. Damn.
Yeah, that was.
You're a fast cook, motherfucker.
I think only one of us has actually worked in the food industry.
All right. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to go with round 2 because there were no clear winners in that last round. That was pretty astounding. All right. Okay. So Chris, I want half a cantaloupe and a bowl of oatmeal. Oh, no raisins in the oatmeal.
Well, okay. Cantaloupes are the orange or the green ones?
Orange.
Orange.
Okay. Half a Death Star sewing, no flies. Sow your oats. No flies. And Death Star just because.
All right. Fantastic. All right, James. I want a bowl of Captain Crunch with skim milk.
Ooh, nice touch.
All right. Mouth razors with cow piss.
I mean, that's correct.
That's way better than what I came up with. I was gonna say Captain keeping it skinny, but mouth razors with cow piss.
Okay. Damn it, you knocked Eric's right out of my brain. Yes. Eric.
Yes.
I want 2 waffles, I want 2 waffles with bacon, an extra side of bacon, and some scrambled eggs.
Okay. I don't have anything good. My brain keeps on thinking back to fucking World War II. So I want to say that you have like... So, John, what you are asking for is the Battle of the Bulge.
You're not wrong. That's a lot to eat, but still.
I mean, because the Battle of the Bulge happened in Belgium, so, you know, what's up?
All right. Okay. Okay. This last one, you guys are all going to get the same one, and whoever gets the best one wins the point.
Okay.
Wins the point for this round.
All right.
This last one, what I want is 3 eggs over medium, a side of hash browns, a side of Lynx sausages, rye toast, and a glass of orange juice. And just to make it difficult, coffee with no cream.
All right, so I feel like I've got mine. It's so when I think of sausage links and all that other shit, I'm thinking Canada. So I'm thinking a Canadian sunrise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, like that low winter sun rising up over fucking Winnipeg in fucking December or January. It's low in the sky and it's orange and there's that orange juice and you're eating that those sausage links and they're like, oh yeah, it's good.
What about the rye toast or the coffee with no cream?
Well,
don't mess with perfection.
Yeah, that's all part of the Canadian sunrise.
Oh, is it? Okay, it's all just thrown in. It's a scrumple dumple, like James said.
Because in the wintertime, the Canadian sunrise doesn't rise that far up over the horizon, so it's not that light. So the rye toast, where it's like a mix of the dark and light, you know, kind of toast. You know, it's not like white toast where it's, you know, a Miami sunrise or a tequila sunrise.
Okay,
it's a Canadian sunrise.
Yeah, because the other 2 are drinks, and this is obviously a big old heaping plate of breakfast.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, who's next?
All right, 3 chicks halfway there. Mary Jane oink shoots minority toast.
Damn it, minority toast.
Tasmanian. Hold on. And Diesel, no piss to take that away from James. If you don't get the Tasmanian thing, on the Taz cartoon, his dad always drank a nice, cool glass of orange.
Jay, that's right.
Minority toast. Minority toast is the funniest thing I've heard in a long time.
God damn it.
Minority toast.
God damn it. Okay, all right. 3 dumples over Miss Cleo, a side of Chong, a side of Zelda, toast with Springsteen, Trump juice, and Diesel no gloves.
Nice.
What the fuck is Trump juice.
It's orange juice.
The first one was 3 Dumples over Miss Cleo.
What?
Over a medium.
Right.
Really good. Yeah. Charles side of Zelda, Link.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. That was
Cleo.
Toast with Springsteen because he's dancing in the dark.
nice.
Okay. All right.
I guess all those are basically like a long way of saying a Canadian sunrise.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me just feed these numbers here into the computer. And the winner is James.
Yay!
James, happy freaking birthday! You won the game. Yep. You beat out Chris by a very small margin.
I know.
You could say it was a minority.
It was a minority of a margin, quite honestly.
Whoa.
Minority Toast did things to my brain that I didn't even ever know that could happen.
So, James, the universe has now opened to you.
Oh my god.
Not
Now-
only is Netflix available to you, but now so is Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I
How
know.
can you even decide?
This is tough. This actually is pretty damn tough because I was looking at Netflix actually yesterday, and I kind of got stuck on 3 of them. Now I didn't look at Amazon Prime, so I'm not gonna choose an Amazon Prime one. I'm sorry.
Not even Major League.
I'm sure that you will get your next chance soon. Very soon.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Don't worry about it.
Now there's one I've been wanting to do that's good, but it gives us something to talk about. It's a thought-provoking movie apparently. And there's another one apparently is not good. It is, from what I've heard, not very good at all. But bad movies make for good conversation. And I'm really kind of leaning towards it now.
Follow your heart, homie.
Because I want
Look
to see
inside your heart.
something
Look
I
inside your
love
heart.
done horribly, horribly wrong and bad. So I think we are going to be watching Jerry Bruckheimer's King Arthur.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Wow, that one with
Keira Knightley.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Wait, what was your other choice?
Can I take it
Nightcrawler.
back?
No.
Clive Owen and Keira Knightley.
Yeah, Clive Owen.
And it's 2 hours long.
What have I done?
You did
All
it.
right. Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard it here first. Next week, we are going to be watching the 2004 King Arthur.
Which means that I get to bring back a 12-year-old joke I made about that movie in 2004.
Just like Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Uh-huh.
There is no expiration dates on jokes.
Guys, do you think like, I'm serious, do you think we're ever going to be like a popular podcast? Like, are people ever going to like us?
No.
Maybe. I think if we keep cracking out jokes like Minority Toast, we've got a chance.
We're going to get punched in the face at the next protest. Good night, everybody.
The Women's March against John Hates Movies.
A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say...
But it makes sense to make stroke jokes. It is a Pee Wee Herman movie.
See, there you are. I this whole time, I made no reference to him wanking in a movie theater. Thank you, James.
Oh, God, now this might have to stay.